Good evening. Our goal tonight is to explain the proposed changes to the professional assistant, teaching assistant, teacher and administrator evaluation systems based on changes in legislation. During the pandemic, due to the extraordinary circumstances and challenges associated with the management of the public health crisis, additional flexibilities regarding the educator evaluation process were included within Governor Lamont's Executive Order 7C. These changes opened the door for local innovation and placed a renewed focus on the original purposes of professional evaluation and support. That shift, combined with feedback from the field that suggested the previous model had not entirely fulfilled its intended purpose, precipitated an effort to rethink Connecticut's approach to this critical system for improved student growth and success. This framework is designed to promote reflective practice through ongoing job-embedded professional learning, which supports educator and leader growth and development toward mutually agreed-upon goals at each stage of their professional career within the education system. The group working on the adjustments for Greenwich Public Schools represent a variety of disciplines, levels, and job responsibilities. The process for GPS actually began a year before the state published the new guidelines. We recognized the need to create more job-specific rubrics for faculty members who have positions outside of the traditional classroom teacher role. Throughout the 22-23 school year, practitioners from around the district studied state and national expectations, along with the GPS job descriptions to craft rubrics that were more representative of their respective roles. In June of 2023, the state released the new regulations, giving districts a year to develop their new system structures and processes for implementation during the 24-25 school year. The state defined non-negotiables in these 5 areas, along with additional recommendations. The board packet includes a crosswalk document outlining where each non-negotiable can be found in the plan. We added rubrics to reflect various job titles and roles. This included professional assistants and teaching assistant, a requirement from the state. One of the most notable changes is to a single point competency rubric. Our rubric reflects a meets or does not meet the standard. The committee made some changes to the language on the current rubric. In some cases, they adopted the language of proficient. In some cases, they adopted the language from the current distinguished category, and in other cases, they combined the language. The new rubrics also bring in language that is more inclusive of additional job responsibilities. There are also changes in process. The previous plan of improvement has been revamped to provide additional clearly articulated supports and responsibilities for faculty and staff who are not meeting expectations. The team studied various dispute resolution processes from other districts and HR departments to craft a clearly outlined process. Our processes also reflect flexibility and observations to maximize potential growth, rather than to adhere to artificial timelines outside of the learning process. Finally, we're adopting a new, much more intuitive tool to track observations. The tool will also allow for almost instantaneous feedback to the education, while also giving an opportunity for educators to reflect and make comments. The goal setting and action plan process was also streamlined. Using multiple sources of data, the teacher reflects. Next, they write an if-then statement linking adult learning to the desired changes in student learning, again using multiple sources of data. This leads to the creation of a goal and an aligned action plan. The evaluator works with the evaluatee to design the action plan, check-ins, and to ultimately define what success for students looks like that is aligned to the plan. When an employee is not meeting the expected GPS standard, they will enter a tiered system of support. In Tier 1, the problems and expected outcomes are clearly identified. The employee is given support for meeting the expectation. If the expectation is not met with the added supports, the employee progresses to Tier 2, where the union and HR get involved. A clearly written plan with identified success benchmarks along the way is written. The plan articulates what the employee will do, what the supervisor will do, and how HR can assist. If there is still not improvement, the employee moves to Tier 3, where an administrator from outside the school is involved. When disputes arise, they will be addressed with a dispute resolution panel. If the dispute cannot be resolved by the panel, the superintendent reserves the right to issue a binding decision. The new regulations call for a report to the Board of Education by June 1st of each year and to the Connecticut State Department of Education by September 15th of each year. The regulations call for the frequency and number of faculty and staff evaluated and not evaluated to be reported. The system is based on continual reflection and growth of our educators, leading to increased student performance. Thank you for your time.